Every Stoic morning starts with gratitude. Before even getting out of bed, take a moment to reflect on the gift of waking up again. Epictetus once said that we should remember how precious it is to be alive, to breathe, and to think. Gratitude grounds you and shields you from the chaos of the day ahead. Instead of rushing, pause and say to yourself, "Today is another opportunity to live according to reason and virtue." By acknowledging life's simplest blessings, air, health, family, or even challenges, you frame your day in abundance rather than lack. Gratitude isn't about ignoring difficulties, but about reorienting the mind to see them as opportunities. The Stoics believed fortune is unstable, and everything can be taken away without warning. Thus, every morning is a reminder that life is temporary, and therefore sacred. This shift in mindset allows you to approach the day with resilience, patience, and inner calm, no matter what trials you encounter. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote about preparing himself each morning for the people he would meet. "Today I shall meet interference, ingratitude, insolence." His method wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. A Stoic morning routine includes reflective thinking about what kind of day awaits and how you should respond. Imagine the challenges ahead, whether they are conflicts, disappointments, or unexpected obstacles. Instead of being surprised, you're fortified. This reflection reminds you that the world will not bend to your desires. It is your responsibility to adjust your perspective. Write down or mentally review the virtues you aim to uphold: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Ask yourself, how will I embody these today? This practice builds resilience and allows you to act with clarity instead of reacting blindly. Each morning, by reflecting deeply, you create mental armor against negativity, guiding your actions with virtue rather than impulse. Your first thoughts shape your day. A Stoic morning requires mastery over them. If your initial impulse is worry, anger, or dread, your day begins unbalanced. But if you choose calmness, self-control, and acceptance, the entire day shifts toward discipline. Epictetus taught that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. This means that the first judgment you make upon waking will influence your emotions and behavior. Instead of complaining about fatigue, the weather, or duties, reframe them as opportunities to grow stronger. If it rains, say, "This will test my patience." If work feels heavy, say, "This is training for my endurance." By consciously directing your first thought, you reclaim power over your inner life. The morning, then, becomes a battlefield where your reason defeats impulses. Over time, this practice makes you mentally unshakable, no matter the circumstances. Before reaching for your phone or being flooded by external noise, Stoics recommend embracing silence. In the stillness of morning, your mind is clear and uncluttered. This silence allows you to focus on inner dialogue, reflection, and setting intentions. Seneca emphasized the importance of controlling your mind before the day sweeps it away with distractions. In silence, you gain clarity about what truly matters, instead of drowning in trivialities. The moment you check social media, news, or messages, you surrender your mind to external forces. A Stoic morning avoids this trap by keeping the first minutes sacred. Use the silence to breathe deeply, meditate, or simply observe your thoughts. This builds self-awareness and mental strength. Silence is not emptiness. It's the foundation of focus, resilience, and peace. By honoring silence before engaging with the world, you ensure that your reason leads your day, not noise. Journaling was central to Stoic practice, and Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is the best example. Each morning, write down reflections, reminders, and intentions. Ask yourself, what virtues will I practice today? What weaknesses will I guard against? Writing clarifies thoughts and transforms abstract ideas into concrete commitments. It's not about recording events but shaping your mind. Journaling also serves as a mirror. You see your struggles, patterns, and growth over time. This habit disciplines your reasoning, forcing you to confront your flaws honestly. Stoics believed in constant self-examination, and journaling keeps you accountable to your values. For example, you might write, "Today I will be patient in traffic, fair in conversation, and mindful of my speech." By committing in writing, you strengthen your will. Over months, These daily entries become a manual for self-mastery, guiding you toward wisdom and resilience. Each morning, affirm the Stoic truths that ground your perspective. Remind yourself that life is temporary, events are outside your control, and virtue is the only true good. These reminders sharpen your mind like a sword before battle. You might say, "I cannot control the world, but I can control my response." Such affirmations prevent you from falling into despair when faced with hardship. Epictetus advised repeating these truths daily so they become second nature. By affirming them, you anchor yourself in Stoic resilience. For example, tell yourself, "Fortune may test me, but my reason remains my own." This affirmation strengthens you against the chaos of the day. Life's storms cannot uproot a mind rooted in philosophy. Each morning, let Stoic affirmations become your compass, pointing you back to virtue and serenity. A Stoic morning includes imagining potential losses and difficulties. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. Seneca advised rehearsing adversity so that you're not broken by it when it arrives. For instance, visualize losing wealth, health, or status. By imagining it, you reduce its power over you. If it comes, you're ready. If it doesn't, you're grateful. Negative visualization creates resilience and teaches you not to cling too tightly to what is temporary. Each morning, picture a difficulty you might face, a harsh word, a financial setback, or illness, and remind yourself, "This is not in my control, but my response is." Such practice immunizes you against fear and anxiety. It transforms loss into training for virtue. By mentally preparing for the worst, you free yourself from dread and instead walk through life with calm courage. Stoicism values aligning mind and body. Morning breathwork cultivates presence and control. Deep, steady breathing centers your emotions and sharpens awareness. Seneca often spoke of mastering passions by returning to reason. Breath is one tool to achieve this mastery. As you inhale, remind yourself that you are alive. As you exhale, release tension and prepare for action. Breathing exercises create calmness before the day's storms arrive. It's also a practice in mindfulness, grounding you in the present rather than worrying about future problems. By controlling your breath, you control your state of mind. The Stoics believed we cannot rule external events, but we can rule ourselves. Breathwork is a physical reminder of this truth. A calm breath equals a calm mind, and a calm mind equals a Stoic day. Unlike modern motivational routines focused on goals, Stoicism emphasizes intentions. Goals depend on outcomes, often outside your control. Intentions focus on virtue and effort, which are always within your control. Each morning, instead of saying, "I will succeed today," say, "I will act with wisdom and courage today." This mindset prevents disappointment and builds character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to act according to nature, not fortune. By setting Stoic intentions, you align with virtue, regardless of results. For example, your intention might be, "I will speak truthfully, listen patiently, and act justly." Even if challenges arise, you can still fulfill these intentions. This practice ensures that success isn't measured by external achievements, but by your character. Every morning, set intentions as a Stoic warrior preparing for the day's battle of the soul. The Stoics value discipline, and rising early is its first test. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself not to waste mornings in bed, but to rise and fulfill his duty as a rational being. The comfort of sleep is seductive, but life calls for action. Each morning, remind yourself, "I was born for duty, not idleness." Rising early isn't about productivity alone, it's about proving mastery over the body's desires. If you conquer sleep, you strengthen your will against other temptations. The early hours are also quieter, ideal for reflection and self-discipline. By rising before the world distracts you, you secure time for Stoic practices like journaling, meditation, and exercise. The battle against laziness is won at dawn. Victory here sets the tone for all victories to come. A Stoic morning recognizes the body as the servant of the mind, and therefore it must be kept strong. Seneca advised maintaining physical vigor, not for vanity, but for resilience. A weak body is easily overpowered by discomfort, illness, or fatigue. Each morning, even light exercise, stretching, walking, or training, strengthens discipline. The Stoics saw hardship as training, and physical exercise is a voluntary hardship that toughens the spirit. When you sweat in the morning, you practice enduring discomfort with composure. Musonius Rufus believed philosophy was not only about words but about action, including care for the body. Morning exercise also clears the mind, sharpening focus for reflection and work. Instead of dreading it, say, "This is my chance to strengthen both body and soul." A disciplined body leads to a disciplined mind. Thus, exercise becomes a Stoic ritual, preparing you for the weight of the day ahead. The Stoics taught that comfort breeds weakness, while hardship builds resilience. Seneca advised practicing poverty, cold, and discomfort so that we learn not to fear them. A cold shower or a walk in chilly air each morning is a small way to practice this. The body resists, but the mind commands, proving that reason rules over impulses. This isn't about self-punishment, but about freedom. When you can endure discomfort willingly, you are no longer a slave to pleasure. By starting the day with a controlled hardship, you build the courage to face greater challenges. The Stoics saw life as a training ground, and every voluntary difficulty was a lesson in fortitude. Morning cold exposure, then, is not merely physical, it's philosophical. Each shiver reminds you that comfort is optional, and strength is a choice. A Stoic morning embraces discomfort as preparation for the unpredictable trials of life. The Stoics believed in living according to 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each morning, review these virtues as guiding lights. Ask yourself, how will I practice wisdom today? How will I act courageously? How will I be fair? How will I restrain myself? By reflecting on these, you align your actions with philosophy. Wisdom helps you see reality clearly. Courage enables you to face fears. Justice ensures fairness to others. Temperance keeps desires in check. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of these principles before ruling an empire. You don't need to be an emperor to benefit. Your daily interactions, work, and decisions are all arenas where these virtues can shine. Reviewing virtues every morning ensures you don't drift aimlessly but live with purpose. Life is short, and the Stoics knew each day must be spent in accordance with values, not impulses. The Stoics embraced amor fati, the love of fate. Each morning, remind yourself that whatever happens is woven into the fabric of the universe. Instead of resisting fate, accept it as necessary. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." This doesn't mean passivity, but serenity. By loving your fate, you remove frustration and bitterness from your life. A Stoic morning includes acknowledging that difficulties, delays, or losses may occur, and choosing to welcome them. Fate is not an enemy, it is your teacher. When you rise, say to yourself, "Today I accept all that comes, for it is designed for my growth." This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for virtue. By starting the day with amor fati, you disarm anger and complaint, walking through life with strength and peace. Morning acceptance builds the resilience that sustains you through all adversity. Stoicism teaches temperance, and this applies to breakfast as much as anything else. Instead of indulgence, a Stoic morning meal should be simple, nourishing, and moderate. Seneca warned against being enslaved by appetite. Eating with mindfulness trains discipline and prevents excess. When you eat, do so with gratitude, remembering that many live without abundance. Every bite becomes an exercise in awareness, slow, calm, and without greed. By practicing mindful eating, you strengthen self-control, showing that reason governs hunger rather than hunger governing reason. The Stoics valued frugality as a path to freedom. A heavy, indulgent meal makes the mind sluggish. A balanced one keeps it sharp. Thus, breakfast becomes part of philosophy, a daily test of moderation. A Stoic morning transforms even food into training for virtue, reminding you that strength lies not in excess, but in restraint. The Stoics emphasized learning daily. A morning routine should include reading philosophy, wisdom literature, or reflections from great thinkers. Epictetus advised nourishing the mind as you nourish the body. By reading even a short passage in the morning, you arm yourself with wisdom for the day ahead. Marcus Aurelius constantly revisited ideas to strengthen his reasoning. Reading anchors your thoughts and keeps you focused on timeless truths, rather than being swept away by trivialities. Choose writings that remind you of virtue, mortality, and self-control. A few lines can shape your mindset, providing clarity and resilience. Instead of consuming distracting news first thing in the morning, a Stoic morning begins with nourishment for the soul. Knowledge becomes your armor, and wisdom your guide. Each day, reading philosophy ensures that your thoughts are lifted above pettiness and fixed on higher principles. Each morning, the Stoics reminded themselves that possessions, wealth, and status are temporary. Seneca wrote extensively about the fleeting nature of material things, urging detachment. A Stoic morning includes reflecting on this truth. Ask yourself, if I lost everything today, could I still live with virtue? This practice frees you from fear of loss. When you detach from materialism, you approach the day with calmness, no longer enslaved by desire. Wealth may come or go, but your character remains. By reminding yourself each morning that nothing external belongs to me permanently, you shift your focus from possessions to principles. Detachment doesn't mean neglect, it means using things wisely without clinging to them. This reflection lightens your heart, allowing you to walk through the day unburdened. A Stoic morning, therefore, is not just about preparation for challenges, but also freedom from unnecessary attachments. The Stoics believe that we are born for cooperation and service. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to act for the good of others. Each morning, set an intention to serve, whether through kindness, fairness, or small acts of help. Service elevates the soul and aligns you with justice. By focusing on others, you dissolve selfishness and strengthen empathy. Ask yourself, whom can I serve today? How can I bring fairness or comfort? A Stoic doesn't seek applause but acts justly because it is in harmony with nature. Service in the morning can be as simple as patience with family, a kind word to a colleague, or generosity to a stranger. These small acts accumulate into a life of virtue. A Stoic morning, therefore, is not only inward reflection but outward action, transforming philosophy into lived reality. No Stoic morning is complete without remembering death. Memento Mori, remember you will die, was central to Stoic thought. Far from being depressing, it sharpens your appreciation of life. Each morning, remind yourself, this may be my last day. With this awareness, trivial annoyances lose power, and priorities become clear. Death is not an enemy, but a natural part of existence. By reflecting on mortality, you stop procrastinating and start living with urgency and virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about death, not with fear, but with calm acceptance. This reminder transforms your morning into a sacred opportunity to live wisely. Instead of wasting time in anger or distraction, you devote your energy to what truly matters. A Stoic morning rooted in Memento Mori ensures that every action, word, and thought carries weight. Death makes life meaningful, and remembrance of it makes mornings powerful. After reflection, journaling, exercise, and setting intentions, conclude your morning with a firm resolve to live according to virtue, no matter what. Marcus Aurelius closed many of his reflections by reaffirming his duty as a rational being. End your morning by saying to yourself, whatever happens today, I will remain calm, fair, and disciplined. This final resolve acts like armor. You walk into the world prepared. The day may bring insult, hardship, or temptation, but your mind is fortified. Stoicism is not about perfection but progress. Each morning resolve strengthens you a little more. By ending your morning with resolve, you remind yourself that philosophy is not for reading alone, it is for living. A Stoic morning, therefore, is not just routine but transformation, guiding you to face life with courage, serenity, and unshakable strength.